Hi, this is Michelle Pettis. And after 42 years of yo yo dieting, cravings, binge eating, diet pills, diet doctors, I have a brand new body and a brand new mind, more importantly. And here's what I discovered that in order to change your body, you have to change your eating habits. Exercise is part of it, but primarily you have to change your eating habits. And in order to change your eating habits, you have to change the meaning of food in your life. And in order to change the meaning of food in your life, you must change your food stories. In order to change your food stories, you must change your food identity. And when I talk about food identity, what I mean is how we think, how we feel, how we act, how we move around food. And everybody's food identity is different because we're all different, we're all unique. Everybody has a unique and different food identity. And our food identities are made up of our food stories. And our food stories are the memories, the events, the experiences that shape our beliefs and attitudes around food. So for 42 years, I yo-yo dieted. I was in a losing battle. I lost and gained 900 pounds over 42 years. I was miserable because nothing worked. Pills, the diet cookies, clinical trials. My mind and my body were always in a constant battle around food, and it was wearing me out. But once I understood how my food stories were controlling my life, I was able to find a diet program that worked for me, and I was able to use my food stories to stick with that program and keep the weight off easily. And unpacking my food stories made all of the difference. It helped me overcome the cravings because I could figure out where the cravings came from. It helped me overcome binging because I could understand where it came from. Understanding my food stories gave me some peace that I just did not have. I started to understand why I went crazy over peach cobbler and ice cream, right? I understand why, I just I would over drink, I was addicted to sweets. My food stories helped me figure that out. And our food stories are mostly unconscious, but they will block our diet success. Food stories are like clean your plate. That's a food story. I don't eat breakfast. That's a food story. I always eat breakfast. That's a food story. There should always be something green on your plate. That is a food story. So here's the food story that changed it all for me, that started me on the road. Years ago, I was at at a barbecue at my uncle's house. And I'm from the South, and whatever vision you have of a family picnic and barbecue, whatever comes to mind, that's what it was. So we had ribs and chicken and potato salad and deviled eggs and baked beans and all of that. And we also had watermelon. And I asked my uncle if he wanted some of the watermelon. He said, I don't eat watermelon. He said, no, I don't eat watermelon. I'm like, you don't eat watermelon. Do you just not eat it now? Do you not want it now? Do you like the taste of it? And he's like, I just don't eat it. And I kept picking at him. And he finally told me that when he was a kid, he and somebody stole a watermelon from someone's yard. And my grandfather, his father, gave him a whooping that he never forgot. Therefore, he didn't eat watermelon. So I said to him, Billy, do you think maybe the lesson was supposed to be not to steal? And he said to me, I don't eat watermelon. And it dawned on me that my grandfather had actually beat the taste out of his mouth. But somehow in that experience, my uncle had gotten the messaging twisted. He had gotten it confused. And that's what happens with us with our food stories, is that we get the feeling that a certain food evokes. We get that feeling, that association confused with the food itself. And once I started to unpack that in my own life, I understood, why I would binge on cookies, why I would binge on peach cobbler, because I went back to the feeling. I was immersed in that feeling of the food, and I got it confused with the food. So in this whole process, I just started peeling back food story after food story. And as I came up against blocks in certain diets, I was able to find the food story that correlated with it. I'll give you a prime example, and you may have experienced it too. If you've been on a certain diet program that says, all right, you need to clean out all the food in your kitchen cabinets, all this food that's not serving you, all the junk food, all the snacks, all the cookies, all that, because that's not what's on your diet. You need to throw all that away. But if you grew up in a family where we don't throw away food, where we work too hard for our food, you can't do the first thing that the diet says to do because you have a food story that tells you something different. So if you have a food story that says, now if you have a food story that says you must clean your plate, and you have a diet that says, well, eat till you're full. If it's okay to leave food on your plate or only eat half of what's on your plate, you can't even do that because your food story is telling you something different. So I have designed a set of exercises that help people find their food stories, face them, rewrite them, and replace them. Because that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do in order to move forward. You got to move all these old food stories out of the way and replace them with ones that will serve you as you move on to a brand new body that you can live with and love, one that you can embrace. So if you'd like to know more about how to find your own food stories, face them, rewrite them, and replace them, I would love to help you with it. Or if you just want to take this information and start thinking about some of your own food stories and see how it might help you overcome cravings and binging and just the need for a comfort food that turns into discomfort food, please feel free to do it. But if not, and you want to reach out, I would love to talk to you about your food stories and help you along your journey. And you can reach me at I am brand new now at gmail.com. I am brand new now at gmail.com. All the best to you.